If you are looking to set up your own F&B restaurant or food kiosk in a shopping mall, you are in the right place. In this video, we shall be discussing the pitfalls, the preparation, and also the design and renovation works to take note of when opening your own F&B restaurant or food kiosk in a shopping mall. I will also show how you step by step how we help our client set up her first F&B shop in Orchard Road. So stay around if you are interested in content like this. And I have been in this design and build industry for over 13 years now, working with over 170 homeowners and commercial tenants across Singapore to transform their space. Personally, I've moved house 7 times and have personally experienced firsthand the excitement, the challenges, and the stress of creating a space for my family of 5 that needs to feel like home. My goal for this channel is to document and share what I have learned throughout my journey. And by sharing, I hope that my current and my future client will understand why I did what I did when designing their homes or offices or shopfront. Shopping malls in Singapore are one of the popular places that Singapore families hang out during the weekends. Be it for the tuition center, the enrichment center, the food court, the restaurants, and the handful of art market, ballet studios, and also our national libraries that seems like fighting to set up space in the shopping mall. And if you are looking at setting up an F&B space in the Singapore shopping mall, continue below as I will be breaking down some of the possible pitfalls that you may encounter and how to tackle them based on my experience as an ID and a contractor and having personally invested in F&B business in shopping malls. The calculation and also determine the amount of shop rental that you are willing to pay per month. The next important step is to find your ideal location to match the rent that you are willing to pay. Now, to start on a negative fact, not all malls are willing to accept lesser known brands into their space. Do not assume that if a unit in a mall is vacant for a period of time, the landlord or the shopping mall will be eager to accept your offer or your brand. They may say, "Thank you for your interest," and put you on the waiting list. Or they will say that they already are in discussion with a new tenant. But if you are not put on these polite rejections, continue below as I have heard of some possible method to get notice from my clients. I have also heard of clients sending them their pitch deck to the mall leasing department. If the mall leasing department saw and liked your concept, they may propose to their higher management. And if it gets noticed and approved, your brand may be offered a space in the mall. And number 2, if you have a well-known celebrity or maybe not celebrity but a well-known person in your shareholder or as your board of director, put him in the pitch deck, put him in a very obvious location that when the mall leasing department saw him, the famous person, they can pay more attention to your pitch deck. And the third method that I have heard of is that to increase your chance of being accepted into a shopping mall is that you can prove that you have not only one outlet, you have more than one outlet and you have experience running a kiosk or restaurant in a shopping mall. You show them that you are self-sustainable and profitable, and you have a few malls around Singapore. That makes you a well-known brand as well. Now that we have discussed on the possible roadblock of being accepted to setting up a shop space in Singapore shopping mall, we have also discussed on 3 possible ways to counter the roadblocks. We shall now discuss a bit on the financial aspects that I've gone through and talking to my clients during their renovation phase after you have been offered a space in the mall. So the standard lease agreement will be for about 3 years, and there's a 1 month rental deposit and 3 years of rental deposit. So that makes a total of 4 months. 4 months of deposit that you have to pay to the mall after you confirm the lease. Assuming that the rental is about 10,000 per month, so you have to set aside 40,000 just for the rental deposit and the first month advance rental. So it's 4 months of rental deposit to the shopping mall. And next, after the financial part is done, we come to securing the F&B space. And this 40,000 is excluding your renovation costs, your pest control bills, your grease cleaning, POS machine, internet bills, furniture, raw material, raw ingredients that you can think of setting a shop. This 40,000 is just the pure rental deposit that you give to the shopping mall to safeguard for you for 4 months. And after that, you secure your F&B space, the next excitement would be to design and renovate your space, right? We shall share that as detailed as possible because that's my forte for renovating for 13 over years, and I hope that I can do something or share my knowledge to help the viewers. And yes, do negotiate to have 1 month of free rent in your lease agreement. Usually they will put it in. Okay, so after securing your unit, the first thing that you need to do, in my opinion, is to get the right contractor for your shop space. There are a few established ID or renovation contractors in the F&B industry which only do F&B and retail, and only the big boys are aware of this company. They mainly do the higher end market like Hai Di Lao, Din Tai Fung, Ichiban Bushi, Sushi Express, and they have all the specialty and the experience doing that. As for the big boys will have a premium force because they have the specialty to do all these high-end restaurants. But if your shop operation is not at the level of Hai Di Lao or Sushi Express, we need to pay the premium for their service. As doing a renovation in the mall and especially F&B is much complicated than doing a HDB or a shop house. Do speak to a trusted person so that you can get the right man for the right job. So after confirming the suitable ID for your space in the shopping mall, do get your ID to start work on the design portion as soon as possible. This is because for most malls, the shop front design and the layout has to be approved by the landlord, which is the shopping mall design team. So this process of going back and forth between the mall's design team and your design team, and your design team maybe need to consult you for the cost impact. This will take about 3 weeks to 1 month, depending on how strict the mall wanted your brand to be. And this definitely will impact your renovation cost. So you got to keep that in mind to make your renovation cost manageable. Is ongoing for the design finalization. You can start confirming the layout plan for the unit. The layout planning meant for both the kitchen and also the seating arrangement. So the kitchen layout planning is for optimizing the workflow inside the kitchen and also the cash register where the customer pays money and the food delivers to their hand. And the seating arrangement is just maximize the space for the customer to sit and having the appropriate spacing in between the tables according to the type of ambience that you as the restaurant owner desire. If you are having a fine dining restaurant, maybe the space between the table edge will be about 1.2 meter or even 1.5 meter. So if you are a fast casual dining space, distance between the table can be shorter. There is really no hard and fast rule. And for this, if you are the owner, you have to make a decision and let your ID and contractor knows about that. As a guide, if you serve your food on a tray, maybe get a table with at least 100 mm at the left and right side of the table so that your customer can dine conveniently. And the front and back, at least the 2 trays can able to accommodate 2 trays. And the smallest table that I can think of right now in the shopping mall, maybe you can consider Yakun. Yakun, I think they have one of the smallest table in the F&B for coffee and toast and the curry meat noodle selected. So now you have decided on the table size and the spacing in between. What your ID can advise is the number of tables you can have in your shop. The mall design team may be more concerned on your seating arrangement than looking at your kitchen arrangement. For the kitchen arrangement, or the kitchen layout plan is the one that will affect your pocket the most, and maybe you need to pay more attention as the owner. In the kitchen layout plan, it will be showing where the stainless steel equipment like the fridge chiller, under counter chiller, the deep fryer, the coffee machine, the ice cream machine, the ice maker, the exhaust hood, the cash register will be outside at the counter. So yeah, this all adds up to the kitchen layout plan. So the location of this equipment will also affect how the electrical wirings and the water piping system will be designed around the whole kitchen area. So another important item is using the town gas in the shopping mall. Not all malls will provide town gas for F&B. I don't recommend using town gas in shopping mall, especially if yours is just a kiosk or a small restaurant. The cost associated with using a town town gas and the installations, the fire suppression system, the testing, the endorsement, and the submission can easily reach 10,000 and above just by having three outlet of exhaust gas for your needs. So with information on kitchen equipment layout, the next step is to ensure that the kitchen complies with the MOS and the SFA requirements. SFA is Singapore Food Agency. So for MOS, we are pretty protected in the sense that you have a set of procedure and requirements that are being set out by the MOS. So there's a lesser chance of being missed out or non-compliant with the authorities. But the requirements in the MOS are much more stricter. So let's go through 7 points that I prepared. And number 1 is the waterproofing and the water ponding test to the kitchen area. So this is to prevent your kitchen from dripping water onto the unit below. And the second one will be the concealed pipe and the grease trap installation on the kitchen floor. And the third will be the non-slip tiles, preferably R10 and above for the kitchen floor. And number 4 is the type of finishing to the kitchen ceiling. If you take a look at Din Tai Fung, when they do the xiao long bao, you can see that the ceiling are all nicely in. Should be antibacterial coating type of ceiling board. And number 5 will be the tiles or stainless steel finishing on the walls of the kitchen, covering the walls of the kitchen. And number 6, the exhaust in the kitchen ceiling, where the position of the exhaust is, and position of the exhaust pipe from the shopping mall. And the last one will be the fire protection system. Make sure that the kitchen is fire protected, like sprinklers, fire suppression system, and the hose reel. And we have just went through the above points to look out for during the construction of your kitchen. So assuming that all the above renovations are completed, we also try to be aware of the date for the 3 utilities to turn on. So what are 3 utilities? They are the permanent electricity supply to turn on for your electricity and the meter to install. The second one is the water supply turn on and the meter to install. And the third one will be the gas check and gas meter to turn on your gas for the whole unit. So these 3 are the utility turn on. So with knowledge of when the utility services are being activated, the next step will be to prepare for the delivery of the kitchen equipment. And once the kitchen equipment are in place, we can proceed to apply for SFA certification. So while waiting for SFA certification, we can prepare to test the POS machine, the workflow, and also prepare your staff training. And with the above activities in place, it's time to counter-check the paperwork that your contractor have submitted to the management office for your store opening. I have heard of stories from management office that they have received drawing without endorsement stamp from the contractor QP. These are considered incomplete and will not be allowed to open for business. So do ensure that you have the necessary documents which are and also properly endorsed by the respective QP. For simplicity, let's go through the 7 common items required to submit to the building management agent. So number 1 is the LEW endorsement on the single line drawing, the statement of turn on from the building LEW, the licensed plumber endorsement on the plumbing plan, the aircon ACMV plan with endorsement from the QP, and the signed copy by building technician to say that they have witnessed your water ponding test, and the floor plan and the furniture plan, the gas pipe plan with endorsement, and for fire safety will be the notice of approval NOA and also the fire safety cert, and finally the approved SFA. This is dependent on you as the restaurant or cafe owner to get the SFA cert. So after a few days, SFA approves the unit application and issues the certificate to operate the food shop, and you can start operating the food shop for business in the eyes of the government. Start with ordering your ingredients and prepare the operation flow from the payment to the kitchen ordering to the delivery to the customer's hand, and inform your contractor on your desired start date so that they can prepare the night shift to remove your hoardings, or whether it's canvas or whether it's partition hoarding. And lastly, do inform the management that when your opening date so that they can send flowers to you, right? Not necessary. Other than sending flowers to you, they will come for another round of inspection if they are super on to make sure that your contractor comply with what they said. So assuming, okay, I will not be name names, but I come across an operation executive and the GM came down to the F&B unit to check on my finishing of what they expected. They have communicated with me what type of finishing they would like me to do it. So luckily we followed their expectation, and yeah, it was done, and the check was done in about 1 hour, and it was successfully achieved, and my client can open their unit the next day.